About why you might want to use these two patches together in our performance bundle option?
Yeah, the reason is that the patches are related in the sense that they're both copper peptides. So elevates GHK-Cu, which is a glycine-based peptide. And there's some very interesting information, by the way, about elevating glycine metabolism and extending lifespan. And then X49 elevates AHK-Cu, which is an alanine-based peptide. So alanine has a narrower metabolic window than does GHK. And so you find alanine and alanine peptides in the muscle tissue, the heart tissue, the brain, and as we're finding out, in the bone, and also in the skin. And so what this means is that X39 produces these very broad effects throughout the entire body because you find glycine just about everywhere in the body. And X49 is going to be a little bit narrower, but those effects are very, very powerful. So what we saw with X39 is that it can help support recovery after exercise. But what we found with X49 is that people were building muscle and losing body fat without any type of diet, and of course, engaging in exercise. And that was some of the first information that came out about it. We also, of course, found out with X49, one of the areas where it was different is that it was turning on osteogenesis and preventing bone loss. So that was really exciting. And then going back to my tanning story, my heritage is European, and my father is German, and my mom is of Italian and Irish descent. And I got the Irish part of me in the skin, which is when I would go out in the sun my entire life, I go right to a sunburn. And I've had some very traumatic experiences with that. Well, we've been doing some investigation because copper is used to manufacture a Faraday cage, and a Faraday cage blocks electromagnetism. And so I began to think about, is there a way we could use these peptides or create patches that elevate copper-based peptides that could interlink and form a type of Faraday cage in the skin? And there was some compelling information to show that copper peptide, GHK, could reduce the effects of radiation on the body. Anyway, long story short, we did find in a study that's the case, and this may lead to us being able to claim that the combination of these patches reduces a person's exposure to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 5G. We have some preliminary data on that. But my own experience with this has been, I've been able to go out in the sun, and I've experimented without sunscreen, and I go right to a suntan, which I love. And many of our members have had a similar experience. I would encourage anybody, though, to use sunscreen. But we found this out back in 2018 when we were launching X39. And in fact, we gave out X39 and the Oliveta night cream on our 15-year anniversary cruise. And it's been delightful that this potentially could be a skincare product in a number of years for helping people to avoid getting sunburn.